Hello everyone and welcome to Strategy Time. This time I'm with Penny. And we're going to be discussing something. Hey Penny, why don't you do a little introduction of yourself?
I'm Penny. You probably know me from my troll thread on the ETF duel forums. My MGE blog, possibly.
Okay, first of all...
I've played... Oh,
okay,
sorry.
just go on. Just finish. Just finish.
So far I've been on one Div 5 team and one Div 4 team.
Oh, you've been on...
That's about it.
What, Division 1 and Division... It was two different divisions?
I played on two teams, I said.
Oh, okay.
Each one is different divisions.
Okay. Alright, excellent. What are those two teams? You want to plug them before we go?
Yeah, the first team was OG, an amazing team. We could have gone higher, but the team had problems and issues and broke up. So the team I'm playing on now is IDK Penny.
Yeah, IDK, carrying your tag. Is that your current
yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
excellent.
that's my tag.
Excellent. So, currently we're playing something, I get some players, there's like a lot of text that isn't usually here. Can you tell us a bit what you're playing right now?
Sorry, can you say the question again? Yeah.
What are you playing right now? I'm seeing a lot of text and there's like percentages and stuff like that.
I'm playing Scout and Viaduct.
Yeah, but this isn't Viaduct. This looks like a closed-off arena of Viaduct.
Yeah. That's because it's designed just for 1v1, so
yeah.
generally most of the map is cut off.
This is actually, for people who don't know, this is an MGE server. And for people who don't know MGE, it's deathmatch. Is that it? Is that all it is?
Pretty much. It's just a pure deathmatching, 1v1. It's a little bit different from DM mod. It's a lot more focused and, in my opinion, a lot harder.
Yeah, it's one-on-one, and there's no distractions. Stuff like that. And you have a blog. Well, I haven't read it in a while, but I read it last time, and you wrote all kinds of interesting stuff of you know, aim and tricks like that. And I'll put the blog in the video description below. So if you want to read the blog, it's really long, but it's really interesting. So tell us. Well, first you can start off by telling us what the troll thread was about on ETF 12, because that's how I got to know you. But I didn't get what was going on, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to this guy, and here I am.
Well, it was supposed to be a thread introducing myself to the TF2 community. I felt like, you know, after watching people go to LAN, I felt like I hadn't involved myself with the community enough, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a thread introducing myself. And it went downhill very, very quickly, and I had a lot of people trash talking in the comments.
Yeah, that's not unusual for people I've seen in the Sixes scene, that there's a lot of pent up anger for some reason. People just get so angry. Which isn't always nice. Okay, so that's it. You basically, what do you say in the thread? Did it start off serious, and then did you just go troll from there?
Not really. The original post was also pretty trolly. I mean, I mentioned Reddit in it, and just act like a complete faggot, really.
Alright. Well, I'm actually a fan of that, because whenever I don't want people to contact me, I'll just act mean to them, and that usually leaves me alone. Alright, currently, so you had some interesting stuff. You are a scout main?
Yeah.
Alright, how long have you been playing scout?
Well, about 600 hours on Scout.
Alright.
It says about 1,800 on Steam.
Alright. Idle hours, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, it's mostly idle hours.
Yeah. And you've played in Division 1 and Division... There's two different divisions.
No.
What?
No, I played in Division 5 and Division 4.
Division 5 and Division 4, alright.
Yeah.
So, how did you get into this MGE thing?
Well, for a long time, I played TF2 mostly just as a pubber, and MGE was kind of a way for me to practice my 1v1. And it was especially important to me when I was playing lobbies, because I felt like I was losing a lot of them. And you know, lobbies are very DM dependent.
Yeah,
so I put as much effort into developing my DM as possible.
Yeah, because what MGE does is really up your one-on-one skills with no distractions. So a scenario where this would be relevant would be like you play 6v6, you know, there's not a lot of players on the field, and let's say like both teams trade kills and all that's left is you and a scout, and you both have full health, and you gotta battle it for the point, pretty much. So that there we can see it's very important to have the have the deathmatching skills in order. How important would you say DM is in TF2 in general, not just competitive play, but in general?
I don't know, like I find it hard to say. I mean, I'd say it's hugely important. I mean, I can't name a good player who has bad DM, but I don't think it's the be-all and end-all of TF2.
Yeah.
I think other stuff as well is just as important.
Yeah. And in your blog, you mentioned a whole thing about aim, and you mentioned low sensitivity.
Yeah, I've had a few people criticize that view.
I'm a high sense player, so I just want to hear, like, we can have a little bit of debate here, like if you should have high or low sensitivity. First question, I will ask you: how much desk space do you have for your mouse?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. All right, cool.
So I can afford to have a
Exactly. That is one thing. If you, if you have a lot of desk space, you should have a high sensitivity. No, low sensitivity. Sorry, you can have.
Yeah.
You can have high too. I mean, I have a lot of desk space. I have kind of high sensitivity.
If you're pressed for space, it's entirely fine to just use a higher one.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll end up giving yourself RSI if you use a low sensitivity on a small mouse map.
So, putting that aside, low and high sensitivity, I mean, what for you makes a sensitivity good? Like, what would you be able to do with your sensitivity in order for it to be good?
I'd say anything between 20 and 40 centimeters without mouse excel is a good range.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like in the game. Like, what do you want to do in the game?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Okay, for me, I'd say like a good sensitivity is when you can do 180s pretty easily without too much. Like, check your back for spies, pretty much.
Right.
Because spies killing you is usually the biggest problem for new players, because it's like a new game mechanic and it's very hard to get into, and stuff like that. And also, since I also want to say,
you want to have it high enough to track.
High enough to track. Okay. High enough to be able to track rocket jumping soldiers and demo men?
Anything. Just,
Alright.
I mean, that's obviously really important in a 6v6 game. If you can't move quick enough, you get stomped by the roaming soldier.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Oh yeah, here it says in the blog, using high sensitivity is fucking retarded. Yeah, I can see how you can get some criticism off of that statement. But at least you make your point clear that you think a low sensitivity is good. When it comes to sensitivity, I have had some experience. I tried a lot of different sensitivity. I played a couple of months with acceleration on, and then I turned it off because it didn't really do much for me, because I'm a sniper main. So for me, like, a lot of players say like you need to have high sensitivity low sensitivity to like be able to trace and stuff. But I want to be able to trace rocket jumping soldiers in scope and do like 90-degree turns with scouts right in front of me with the scope. That's what I want to do, so that's why I use a high sensitivity. So I kind of keep overshooting my targets if they're moving slowly, as opposed to before where I kept undershooting the fast-moving targets because I wasn't fast enough. So it's all about getting comfortable with your sensitivity. So I just got a question. What other classes do you play usually?
Spy would be my second go-to class. Like, I really enjoy playing Spy.
All right. So how does sensitivity work into playing a Spy?
Honestly, it's not a huge factor. I mean, it's useful for the revolver because being comfortable with your hit scanning can really help when you're playing with that. But it's not too big of a deal with Spy.
Yeah.
I think this guy's given up.
Yeah, you're wrecking up the place. I'm not sure how many kills you have.
Yeah, I made him 20-0 last round.
Yeah. No, that's fine. But you're talking though. That's hard, you know, when you're not calling stuff, when you're thinking about things. All right. So I'm gonna look at your blog some more, and you really like this very cool. Where it's like vision, target, and there's a bunch of arrows. Let's see if I can bring that up. Let's see.
I'm not sure how clear that picture was when I made it.
Yeah, here's the picture. I honestly have absolutely no idea what this is. It's vision. I guess that's the dot in the middle, and then there's targets, and then there's arrows going both ways. It kind of looks like a Christmas tree from the top. If there wasn't a star on the thing, it would be like a circle. So what are you trying to tell there? With that?
It was supposed to illustrate somebody finding like a fixed target and then kind of practicing by just going in a semicircle around it. Like right now, I'm focusing on this wooden plank. I'm just semicircling around it.
Oh yeah, okay.
And it's good when you're learning strafe aiming.
Yeah. So what is strafe aiming?
It's what I'm doing pretty much right now, where I'm just leaving all the movement to my arrow keys. Not arrow keys, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And doing tiny corrections with the mouse.
Alright. So basically you're waiting for your
all
guy
the
the enemy to run into your crosshair and then fire.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, it sometimes doesn't work, but you're just making minor adjustments. So as for scout versus scout, one-on-one, MGE, what kind of tips do you have? Like basic mistakes that new player makes, regardless of just, not having the best aim or the right sensitivity?
I'd say the biggest mistake people make is usually when they miss a shot. They miss a lot more shots. They kind of like stress out about it.
Alright, so okay, I've seen this a lot too. It's when they shoot, and they try to shoot you as fast as possible.
Yeah, like they don't take breaks between their shots.
Yeah. And I also talked to another scout, Greg, I think I think it was Crackline, I'm not entirely sure. It was a guy named Greg. There's two Gregs, as far as I know. And he said, like, one thing that's also a little tricky you can do is just suddenly stop moving. Is that something you've utilized?
Stop moving, yeah, it's really good. I wouldn't do it too often because people can catch onto it.
Yeah.
But
so
it's really good.
It's kind of like if you like, regardless of how good you think you are at strafing, you always have like certain patterns you do. Like you can think you have like random, but actually you have like sets of different strafes you do. At least that's with me. I have like, I don't know, like 10 different strafes I do.
I actually just have one strafe.
Oh yeah, you have one strafe. Okay. What is your opinion of jumping in scout versus scout battles? How does jumping around to dodge work out?
I think it used to be more effective. I think they actually fixed it because when you double jumped, the hitbox used to lag a bit, so it was really good for that. But it's not particularly great. It throws your aim off.
Yeah. It throws your aim off, and you're not that much harder to hit for the opponent's
exactly.
scout. Yeah,
when you do your second jump, you're really predictable.
Yeah. And you don't really want to be predictable.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how is your scout versus scout?
Well, I'd say it's way above average. Not trying to sound like I'm full of myself, but
oh, you can just say you're fucking awesome, man. You can say like best scout EU, and everybody in the comments will rage, but I won't.
I wouldn't quite go that far. I mean,
yeah.
I've beaten a few Prem scouts in MG, and the only person that consistently beats me in MG, I'd say, is Sheepy, but he's fucking crazy at MG.
Yeah. I think you'll kick my ass too. Okay, so your scout is pretty good on an average. Do you usually win scout battles?
In game, yeah, pretty much. I try and abuse it as much as possible. Like, I'll try and bait the flanks and try and force 1v1.
Alright, okay. So, if you could give any tips to players who want to play Scout, but they haven't gotten into the competitive scene yet, they're kind of like in the pub stage still. Do you have any tips for those players? Other than read your blog?
Honestly, the best thing to do is to kind of play some MG, DM, and then just keep playing, like, over and over again. And obviously, practice makes perfect. It may seem a bit of a useless advice, but it is entirely what you end up doing, usually. Alright.
Did you go to another arena?
Yeah, okay. I joined another one because the guy seemed to have given up a little bit. He was kind of just standing still sometimes.
Alright. So, MGE, okay, good. And use the sensitivity you're comfortable with. It doesn't matter if it's high or low, as long as you can do what you want to.
Yeah, and you should never change your sensitivity. Once you find the one you want, just stick with it, because you won't develop muscle memory if you're constantly changing sends all the time.
Yeah, I did that, and I had a really hard time, especially as a sniper. Wow, that was so hard.
Yeah, it's so important for a sniper, because those flick shots, it's like 100% muscle memory usually.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah, and the guy's back for more.
Yeah, the same guy.
All right. Let's see what else. I had something else I wanted to ask. What was that? Oh yeah, hardware. You mentioned something about hardware in your blog.
Yeah.
What kind of tips do you have, like in general, if the short version for people who don't like to read?
Buy a decent mouse and buy a decent monitor.
What's a decent mouse? Is there any?
I don't tend to know too much about mouses, but I know the one I've got's good. It's a Razer Death Adder.
Yeah, all right. You know, I have a Logitech MX 1518. I've been using that for a couple of years now, and I'm so used to it. So definitely, like, find a mouse that you like and stick with it. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Don't break it. And a monitor.
Sorry.
Yeah. I've actually had a discussion with people like talking about 60 hertz versus 120 hertz. And do you
Makes
play
a huge amount of difference.
Yeah, I've heard that everybody say that, but I think that's more like psychological than it is actual play.
That is probably true. You know.
It's kind of like you've seen people. I don't know. Do you know the guy called Penn and the other guy who like never talks? They do like the show in America, and they actually did like this test to see if people who were like only ate at like 5-star restaurants or whatever actually could tell the difference if they were using like best ingredients or like crappy ones, and they couldn't tell the difference. I think like you can definitely see more on 120, but it doesn't make a lot of difference unless you have troubles seeing your targets. Pretty much. But like that's completely, you know, up to you, like what kind of eyes you have, I guess.
Yeah, the cost is really the biggest factor. Like, I honestly couldn't justify spending up like £300 or £200 on a 120 hertz monitor.
Yeah,
It's too much.
so that's like if you really feel like you've reached your prime and you just want to get even better, get 120 hertz. I mean, it will look clearer, but I don't think it will shoot any better.
Yeah, I mean, the hardware's not a bottleneck at the end of the day.
No,
you
no,
know,
it's all about how good you are.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. How is your scout versus other classes?
Actually, I've been working on that a little bit. I've been doing more Scout v Soli in MG. Oh my god, is this guy gonna kill me? Okay. Been doing some Scout v Soli MG, and I think it's generally very good.
Yeah.
Not as good as my Scout v Scout.
Yeah. What is when you play a soldier versus scout, one-on-one? Let's say all the other teammates are dead. It's just you and that soldier left on the team. What is important to keep in mind when battling a soldier as a scout?
That you have height advantage, pretty much.
Okay. Because soldiers are good at shooting down. So if the soldier is above you, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah. And one thing Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's just harder for him and easier for you.
Yeah. And I know that scouts are really good against demo men if you're at the right range. Because the demo man literally can't hit you at that distance. It's like this zone.
Yeah.
Do you call that zone something? Does it have a name?
I guess the dead zone would be the closest thing I can think of, but not really.
Basically what the dead zone is that if he uses the pipes, you can dodge him easily, because he can't hit you because you're a scout and you're the fastest class in the game. And if he uses the pipes, you can just run towards him and meat shot him because he won't have enough time to switch weapons and kill you. But you gotta be careful though, because you know he might get a pipe directly onto you and you're dead.
Yeah.
And one
very tricky.
100%ly play sticky bomb actually one-shots a scout if you have 125 health. That's pretty sick. A pipe does not though, according to the Wikipedia and the damage charts. And I love that the chat is full of the people that were following you in here. That's cute. People taking the time and energy to follow you. Yes. Let's see. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, who the hell is Corellius?
What? I don't know.
Okay.
As for loadout wise, what should you never use as a scout, in your opinion? when you play. Like
So,
this
what
goes for
weapons?
pubs and competitive and Highlander and everything.
Never use the fan.
Force of nature. Why is that?
It used to be really good, and I used to like using it a lot, but it hasn't got that knockback really anymore. So, and it does less damage than the scattergun, so it's completely useless.
Okay. I just want to ask you a couple of questions. What do you think of the Scout set, the Milkman set? What's your opinion on that?
Broken.
Broken?
Still broken.
Why is it broken?
Extra health on a scout, just completely unnecessary. Absolutely breaks the class.
Oh, well, I think it doesn't. I think this set's fine.
No, it's really good. I mean, I like it. I'm just saying it's compatible.
Yeah, like you just say more health, but actually 25 more health is about as much as a medic. And you as a scout have no problems killing a medic. I know that. So, I mean, how many shots does it take to kill a medic?
3, 2, sort of.
Yeah, how many times does it take to kill a scout normally with the health? It doesn't really matter that much. And he's giving up a lot of firepower. A shortstop? Is that as good as the scattergun?
I used to like it a lot. It's such an interesting scout weapon, and I think Valve should really buff it.
Yeah, I think it's fine as it is. It's kind of like a mid-range thing. And the pistol is of course very important, so you're giving up that for Mad Milk. It's kind of like the SMG and Girardi thing. You give up the like reliability to something that's a lot less reliable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think it's fine because you give up firepower for health, and that's fine. You can like the sniper has the Darwin Danger Shield, giving him more health, and he gives up a secondary weapon. And yeah, speaking of the latest weapons, what do you think of the Flying Guillotine weapon? Have you used that?
I don't really know what that is. Is that the throwing? Is that the what's it called?
The throwing knife.
The meat cleaver.
Yeah, if people are stunned, you do crits.
Yeah, I haven't used it, but it looks interesting.
Alright. Well, hopefully people have gotten a bit of an insider of who you are and how you play. Is there anything last words you want to say, other than that they should read your blog?
I think TF2 is a great game, and it deserves more attention than it gets, really.
Oh yeah, definitely. And oh yeah, how do you find these MGE servers?
How do I find them?
Yeah, how do you find them?
personally?
No, I mean like in general. I will show them. This is how you find an MGE server. You go into the team.
Right, I thought you had to play.
You don't have to play anymore. I'm not watching you. Basically, you just go change server, and what I do, I type in MGE because the map name is MGE, and you can find there's a lot of different servers, and you can try that and stuff like that. So thank you so much for taking the time to have some strategy time. Hopefully, all of you young aspiring scouts here can check out this guy's blog. It's a lot of interesting stuff here. Any last words before we close out?
Just thanks for having me, I guess.
You're welcome. All right, Penny, everybody, check out his website. It is penny2awesome.blogspot.co.uk, and thanks for coming.